So we were carrying that chair out yesterday, and I was like, well, just one less thing that could cause us a lot of problems when we had moved out of the house.
And then I brought one in.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, well.
So
we'll use it out back.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you ever want to get rid of your stuff, boy, just have a yard sale and wait for Melissa to drive by, and she'll come by and swoop up stuff and put it in our house.
Stop it.
And, now we got more stuff we don't need. Cal's got more things to climb on that we don't need.
I got a bar stool that had arms on it, handles, so he can climb up and he doesn't fall out of the seat.
Yeah.
It's more sturdy.
Yeah. This will be the next adventure. The next, see, you see bar stool. I see dangerous gym apparatus.
It made him happy.
Oh,
you guys were still at football and I was cooking.
You
came home to a bunch of food and a baby that was happy.
You know what's funny yesterday is I saw our neighbor put her yard sale stuff out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything, but I know something she owns right now. I'm going to be the owner of it within 24 hours.
You're ridiculous.
I looked at it. I was like, I know something out there is coming to my house. And I looked very carefully. Nothing over there we needed. Didn't need anything. But one thing was at least coming. I knew it. And I get home and I come around the corner from the garage and I'm like, well, look at that. A bar stool that doesn't match any of the other ones. I was like, yes.
Whatever. I have nothing to say.
No, people like you keep yard sales in business. You love it. You just love it.
You're ridiculous.
You love it. That stool's going to be out in a month. It's going to be at the bottom of our driveway.
Or out back.
That's usually how it starts.
It's actually an outside chair.
Yeah, it is. But that's the thing, like, because Cal doesn't do great with new stuff. He's kind of obsessed with it. And so even just now, you tried to get him off it, and then that's what happens.
Well, I got it because it was sturdy.
Oh.
It's sturdy.
Yeah.
It has a sturdy base. It made me feel comfortable. You get very nervous with him doing big kid things, but
he slips, he falls, and it's something new. He also like jerks back on chairs too, and it gets worried about that. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I've been saying it for a long time. These autistic and special needs kids, they hit their head a lot.
They do.
And it really, really concerns me at a young age getting those concussions and head injuries. Look at the Bob Saget thing. I mean, I really don't even understand that. But he apparently had hit his head earlier in the day.
Well, you'd think you'd have to hit it pretty hard. I mean, it said he went to sleep and then,
Yeah, but I mean, don't you think at one point he hit his head so hard that there was like a scene, like he fell, or like wouldn't he have called his wife and said, I really hit my head, I don't feel good? I don't know.
I thought he would have called his wife too. That sounds a little weird.
Yeah, I thought, but I was thinking about what I've been saying about autism and stuff and hitting heads and everything. I'm like, it concerns me. I know I had tweeted the NFL before about them sharing their information on concussions because they're doing a lot of research because they've been involved with this big lawsuit about concussions, but they've put a lot of money to researching concussions, right, how to prevent it, how to treat it, and everything like that. And I was like, wow, that could be really useful in the special needs and autism world.
I think it would, for sure. And I've decided I'll take that bar stool and put it out back.
Boy, listen.
Because it's not worth it. You get so uptight about it.
3 minutes and 52 seconds in, and the bar stool is already being moved again.
You get uptight about it, and it's not worth me watching you with your anxiety.
Tell you what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to pull up tonight all the yard sales tomorrow in the area.
You're so annoying.
I'm going to drive. Listen,
you're annoying.
No, you know how they do like speed dating? You're going to do speed yard sailing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive by and I'm going to go. And you have 30 seconds to run out and grab something and run back. And then we'll go to the next one and I'll go. And you run out and grab something. And we'll just knock them all out tomorrow.
I have to buy it. That's what you mean?
Yeah. Well, unless you just want to grab it and run. Either way, you got to be back in the car in 30 seconds. It doesn't matter to me whether you buy it.
This was a leftover. And I did see it earlier and I was like,
Yeah.
Where can I use that?
I like speed yard sailing. I almost feel like that should be a thing.
That should be funny.
Yeah, so that'll be our
I passed a couple good ones.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler's like February and yard sales. I'm like, we have them year round here.
Yeah. Year-round yard sale.
And I don't know where everyone else lives, but if you put something here at the end of your driveway, someone is going to take it.
Oh, yeah. I actually wanted to do a competition to come up with like the most ridiculous thing that you put at the end of your driveway to see how long it takes to get taken. Like, I don't know
That's
what.
pretty good. We have a chair at the end of our driveway.
Someone's going to grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the chair that Cal has destroyed. He's been trying to eat the foam and the fluff out of it.
You know, it's funny. So we were carrying that chair out yesterday, and I was like, well, just one less thing that could cause us a lot of problems or being moved out of the house.
And then I brought one in.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, well.
So
we'll use it out back.
I'm fine if like it's here, not like if like, hey, Cal, do you want to sit in the kitchen for a minute or for 30 minutes and sit on the chair? Fine. But if it's always there, he's going to be obsessed with always trying to get to it and spin around on it and lean back on it. And
all right, I'll just bring it in sometimes.
I probably am a little overprotective. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want him to get hurt.
You are overprotective.
Well, that's fine. I'll do it that way than the other way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get it, but I also feel like eventually he has to act like a bigger kid. I mean, eventually.
I agree.
Maybe, but I know it's hard.
Maybe that should be in a room, though, with carpet in case something does happen. That's all I'm saying. Like,
well, we don't have carpet yet.
Well, I know.
Which we've talked about carpeting the house, and then you were worried about him pulling up the carpet like he did in the hall closet.
Well, now, yeah, I did get a little worried about that. Like, are we going to do all this to carpet? And I just want to carpet half the house. But if we're going to do all that, and then he's going to rip it up, it's not like the warranty covers an autistic kid. You know, you can't call and say, hey, come back and fix my carpet. You know, they're going to be like, no, we're going to have to recarpet it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So I'm like, I don't know.
You do worry, like, will he even like the carpet? But I think he will. See,
I think he will. But you're right. I mean, that could totally backfire on us. He may refuse to go in the room. But I don't know.
He could, but I don't think so. Like, we have one rug in there, and he rolls around on it.
Yeah, and I just think, too, like, later at night, it's just more comfortable. Even if he wants to take like a big pillow and put it on the carpet and just lay out and relax.
Maybe it would like calm him.
That's what I mean. Like, I wonder if that could just relax him a little bit. You know? I don't know.
Well, I've moved all of our stuff yesterday to make it more sensory friendly for him, to move the trampoline more towards the living room area.
Yeah.
So he doesn't jump on the couch. And now we have one room that's pretty empty because everything's in one spot.
Oh, my God.
And so we need to change it.
We literally have this room now that there's nothing in it. It looks like we've either just moved in or we're about to move out. And, I mean, I'm just...
Well, it's where you'd put a dining room table.
Right. Yeah. And so, but we can't have a dining room table. That's actually one of our episodes that people really talk about to us is, you guys don't own a dining room table? I'm like, no, we can't. I mean, we can't.
Do you know, I feel like the only like table like we really could have is like one of those ones in like Japan where you like sit on the floor on a pillow. You sit on pillows and the table's like so low to the ground.
Yeah.
Because part of the worry with having a dining room table is him jumping on it.
There's a Japanese family up the street. Maybe they'll have a yard sale tomorrow and put one out there. We could scoop it up.
You're ridiculous.
What?
But you know what I mean? I try to think of a dining room table, and the worry is he's going to get on top of it and jump off.
I mean, it's not the worry. He's done. I mean, he's done it.
That's why we don't have it.
Yeah, no, it's not worth the risk. And you know, when he decides he wants, you know, obviously he's going to climb the table. We're going to say no. Well, no's the trigger word. No? Oh, okay. Well, actually, to me, that means yes. And then, so that's all he's going to do. So that's why we can't have him on the table, because that will just be something he knows will get our attention.
Well, and then the corners of it. I mean, it's like
hitting his head, and it's
Yeah, it would have to be round.
I'm telling you that and I've dug up some interesting articles, research on autism and concussions. It's a thing. It's under talked about. It's underreported. It's under analyzed. It's a thing. I mean, concussions are so bad for human development. So bad.
Well, and a lot of the kids bang their heads on purpose.
Well, I've read a thing.
You know?
Autistic kids fall, but a lot more than kids that don't have autism. Like a lot more.
Yeah.
And you know, even earlier in life, it goes back to balance issues. That's why they walk much later. They fall a lot.
Well, and he has PT at school right now. He was having PT at home. I still have to find someone.
Yeah.
PT's hard to find for pediatric, you know.
You know what? It is. That's weird to me. I thought that would be one of the easier. But no,
it's not. I just talked to a mom the other day. It's the same thing. And her kid's autistic, and she was talking about balance.
Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting. I was thinking the other day, I want to do, I've been coaching my kids in all their sports for the last, 2 years.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to try to put something together for special needs. And I don't know how I would do that, but because it's hard, but not like competitive, obviously. It wouldn't be like a, like keeping track of like scores or records or anything, but just something to get kids outside, moving, involved.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard. I mean, that's something that their therapist can come with them.
Yeah, and I thought, too, parent involvement. It would be a parent involvement thing. So the parents were also playing with the kids. I don't know, something.
Well, I actually reached out to somebody that does like soccer shots.
Yeah.
They don't have special needs. I asked about it because it would be good for him to start like doing something like that and good for his activity and,
Yeah, and I also think, too, to see other kids that have some of the same challenges, but to watch them compete at certain things, I think that would be good. Also, too, honestly, we talk a lot about the parents of special needs and everything. Something for the parents to just be proud of or excited about, or, just something for them to focus on, a little bit different than the everyday problems and issues.
Well, it would be cool to see him kick a soccer ball and run down. You could cheer for him, Like he heard me cheering for the girls today.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, girls had their Super Bowl flag football championship game earlier this morning. They lost. They came up short, but there were tears.
It was fun to watch.
It was a lot of fun. I love being out there. So much fun. Like, I was talking with a guy today, and he's a coach of Trey's baseball team, and he's like, man, I was thinking about, I can never get this time back. These pictures, these videos, like, I'm never going to get this time back. Like, this season came and gone. Like, if my kids didn't play sports, what would I have done with them? And I'm like, oh, that's a great point.
I know.
You're really doing these things that are, these are like, it's crazy, but this is like, it sounds weird to say, but like, this is like the history of your life. Like, you're actually creating the history of your life. Right. You know how we look back on history of like, the country or something, and like George Washington was the first president and that, whatever. This is like the history of your life, the things that you're doing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is like stuff that they're at an age where they're going to remember, and it's nice that you're able to coach them.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
be
fun.
Involved.
But special needs does miss out on that, And I know some of the very low functioning, that wouldn't be quite possible. But there's another level. Well, gosh, you could really put together some type of league where you could get these kids together, just having fun, creating memories, and I think too for the parents, it'd say, you know what, I'm trying. I read a thing yesterday. It was really, well, I don't know. How do you feel about this?
What?
It was from the perspective of the woman said, hey, parents, I see you talking about your kids and going to football practice, going to baseball practice, taking your kids to sleepovers. Basically, it was basically saying that the parents who not complain about that stuff, but who just talk about it. And then the special needs mom in that group is like, oh, I take my kid to therapy, or I'm busy changing diapers, or you know what I mean? It was basically like, I don't know what it was meant for, honestly, but that's sort of what I like about it, because it just had everything. But it was really just the conversations that you all moms are having.
Right.
Is much different than my real life situation. Like, the special needs mom wishes she could say, oh my God, I've been running my kids to football all week, and now we got to start baseball. And the special needs mom portion of it was like, God, I wish I had that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know.
Like, I wish that was my issue. I wish, get what I'm saying? But then I say, we're like, we do both.
Yeah, we do.
We do both. And so I kind of hit me like, wow, like, yeah, we're on both sides of that.
Well, and we talked about how our kids are also affected,
Yeah.
And it's really important for us and them to allow them to do sports and, make time for it, because it gets them focused on what they really like, you know, because they get sucked into all of his needs, because there's daily needs and everyone in the family is a part of it.
Yeah. If you would have told me 2 or 3 years ago that I would be really racing around, with all these sports, I would have been like, no, my life won't allow me to do that. I would have said, I don't have the time, which is ridiculous, because we all have the time. It's just how we choose to use the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, but like you said, it's really important for them. Like I think for me, it's like I want them to do these sports because it takes their mind off of some of the other challenges at the house with him.
Right, and go ahead.
Sorry. It's just their moment where they truly are not thinking about anything but what's going on that field and being a good teammate and being a competitor and winning. It's I mean, I always say like our kids really want to win.
They do.
They are very competitive. They want to win, and I just think that's great. I do. Some of these coaches don't agree. They're just, it's not about winning, and I just think that needs to be what you're working for to win it. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, why else are you there?
Yeah, no, I mean, in learning and developing, that's all good. I think that's what practice is for. I mean, you got to have really structured practices about development and learning and improving your skills and everything. But when it's game time, like that's what that's for. It's to apply that to get the win. And I just want my kids to always focus on that while they're playing a game. We need to win this game. That's what we're doing this for.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now I'm like really thinking there's like so many different rec centers around this area and none of them have anything for special needs. And maybe it's something me and you could put together.
Yeah,
and maybe it's not really
here's the tough part.
Sport.
Right. It's like, how would you say though with the functioning, like what would be the level where, I mean, the parents would have to be there. That's the thing, right? The parents would have to, you can't like sometimes on Trey's baseball team, like there were some parents like I never saw.
Right.
Literally the door would open. Johnny would run out with his mitt, do his practice. 10 minutes before practice, the car would pull up. Johnny would run back to the car, get in the car, and the car would drive away. And that's fine. I mean, because they have things going on. Hell, they may have 5 other kids.
Yeah.
And, they're doing the best they can. I'm just saying for this situation, there's no way that could happen.
No, I would definitely say there needs to be parent involvement, but maybe do ages like 4 to 8. And it's up to the parent to decide is your kid. I mean, you kind of the doctor tells you, but then if your kid's high functioning,
Right.
So some people don't even tell people their kid is autistic. I'm very vocal about it. It makes me feel better. You can tell that he's not a typical 4.5-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in a red wagon a lot.
The other thing would be I guess you could just put like a curriculum out ahead of time and said, this is the things we're going to do over this, let's say 6 weeks. And if you think this is something that you would enjoy being a part with your child and other kids in a similar situation, then this is what it's about. I don't know. It might be kind of cool.
I mean, I know that our rec center does something for smaller kids, like 3-year-olds, and it's just little things like kicking a ball. And like, this could be something like they're practicing to hit a baseball, catch a baseball. You could do everything in one, like football, soccer, baseball, all in one. And they're not playing games or anything. And it could be for 30 minutes.
I thought about today, and maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. My mind never stops, right? I can't control it. I honestly, that's why I think I probably have some degree of autism, to be honest with you. My mind won't stop. But I was like, man, there are parents today on a Saturday who are at home doing the daily special needs stuff, and it's very hard. And, we've talked about it, a lot of special needs parents, if your first child is, let's say, autistic, and it's, something that affects their functions, it was probably their last child for many of them. They've just decided we can't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that mom and dad probably think I'll never experience watching my kid score a goal, score a touchdown, catch a pass, make a basket, win a race.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I think it's horrible that they've just probably accepted. I said, I wish there was a place where special needs kids could have some type of competition, some type of team, you know what I mean? Just something, because the parents, they would, to be in that realm, even just to be close to it, I don't know. I think that'd be something cool, like even to have a uniform, I don't know.
Well, I told you that the other day I was at the consignment shop and I saw a size 4 baseball pants.
Yeah.
And I was sad that he's never going to be able to do that.
But
so
maybe that's
even to be able to just put it on.
Yeah, maybe that's not the case. Maybe.
But maybe it takes people that are experiencing it to put it together.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I thought about it today. I said, wow, that's really something, and I never thought about that before. But I'm sure there's somewhere out there, there's a dad who is like, man, I just always wanted to, have a kid so, I could help them with sports and, You know, I'm sure there's a mom going like, geez, my friends or their kids are all in baseball together, or they're all in travel flag football together, and I can't, you know, be a part of it because of it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, and I think that a lot of autistic kids, not all, have a hard time making friends and stuff. So maybe this is another way to make friends, or just to be able to other moms and dads be able to talk.
I was just going to say, maybe just connecting the parents and just, you know, sometimes you need that. You just need that moment to be like, I get it. And I know that you get it too. You know, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. I mean, as a hairstylist, I've talked to other moms that have autistic children.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you can kind of just vent and talk and the other person knows what you're going through, because just our regular family, our friends don't know because they're not experiencing it. But you, as a dad, have never talked to another dad that has an autistic kid. So
I don't think so.
You haven't. And it's
we talked to people who, you know, we've said it's the same old joke. We talked to people whose aunts, cousins, mothers, ex-boyfriends, half brother, sister's son has it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just always
they don't know what to say.
Heard that before.
Yeah. I mean, we're just real on this podcast, so I'm just going to say it.
Oh boy.
If Cal would have been my first, he definitely would have been my last, because he is a lot for me to handle, and
well, we like to have.
That's how I feel.
Here's why that's probably not true, because we like to have like 3 kids in 2 years. So
I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but if
we wouldn't have known yet that autism had shown its face. But I know what you're saying.
If he would have been my first, I would have known and everything,
yes.
and I had a choice of
there's no
him
doubt.
being my last, and I would have chosen that.
And there's no doubt.
So luckily, he's the last baby.
Yeah, we say that, and we are not joking. I mean, there's no doubt. And you read a lot about people who've made that decision. You know, it got to be, 13, 14, 15, 16 months. Something was just not adding up. You get to 20 months, then you go to a developmental pediatrician. They're like, we got to consider autism. And then it really starts showing its ugly side, and then they're like, well, we just can't handle, a lot of it too, I think for new parents, has got to be financially. All of the things that you just need. I mean, it's like we talked about it before. I mean, if we're trying to get Cal something, we have to get like 3 to 4 to 5 different versions of it to see which one he'll take to, if any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon hates us because we return so much crap.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of it doesn't work.
Or he's like, he won't connect with it for whatever reason. I mean, some of the reasons are just, it's like, really, you like this, but you don't like that? And he's like, nah.
I know. I got those sleeves. He wore it for one day.
Oh, Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Are those going back?
Well, I can only find one right now. I don't know where the other one is.
Of course.
No, but I think part of it, too, is we feel like we've had a baby for a really long time. Like, for 4 years. Like, he's almost 5. And during this time, he would be becoming a big kid. And it's kind of, we're stuck in this same stage right now, and I think that goes back to you being very protective of him getting hurt and stuff, because you still feel like he's like a baby.
Well, think of it like this: we're going to change more diapers with Cal than 4 other kids combined.
Yeah. I know, it's a lot.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, I think we just talked the other day, or I talked to somebody. I mean, he's in a size 6 diaper. I mean, that's the highest that Publix goes. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, there's got to be a place online we can order.
Yeah.
More, different size diapers. But yeah, I mean, he's got probably another few months in the 6, maybe 6 months.
Well, even like I have to give him a bath. I mean, his therapist also gives him a bath. I can stick him in the shower, but I still have to help him.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, when Trey was 4.5, he was taking his own shower and probably washing his own hair, and doing it by himself. I didn't have to help him.
Well, that's the other thing too about having the 3 so close together is they were like taking baths together. So they learned to do everything together. They actually learned to rely on each other. They didn't even realize that they were learning that skill. Like in the morning for years, these 3 middle kids, I mean, they're 9, 10, and 11 right now. They have gotten up in their morning routine. They've all done it together. They help each other make breakfast. They get their backpacks. You know what I mean? They have learned that together they were always grouped. They do things with each other, which has been super cool. Yes, it has its moments where it's like, dear God, fighting over who's going to be on what team, and no, that's my friend, not yours. There's that. But the rest of this stuff's super cool. Like their mornings, I got to tell you, we're lucky. They get up and they get moving, man. They get everything rolling on their own.
Yeah, they're all very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Those 3 were like triplets.
Yeah.
And they would line up in a row on the ground and change all their diapers. They all had their bottles. They all had their passies.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie and Austin are, 10 months apart? And then Trey and Austin are 14 months apart. So
they're third, fourth, and fifth. Yeah, third, fourth, and fifth grade. And
I mean, we were rocking them out like we were making money off them, right? Like it was like we were turning profits. And so it was like it just got to a point. I mean, we had 3 in diapers at one time.
Yeah.
3 in diapers.
So I'll just tell you.
Oh, boy.
When we had Charlie's the second kid. When she was 8 weeks old, I got pregnant with Austin. 8 weeks old, okay? That was crazy. I was pregnant for a long time.
That's back when you drank wine.
For like a week because then I got pregnant again.
What I mean, but that was
so then I got pregnant and Austin came 6 weeks early. So they're 10 months apart. Then when Austin was 6 months old, she's the third kid, I got pregnant with Trey. And I was on birth control. I remember I hadn't had my period, and all of a sudden I took a test. I owned a pregnancy test, and I owned 2 hair salons at the time.
I thought you were going to say you owned a pregnancy test. We should have owned a company that made pregnancy tests. That's actually what we should have done.
Oh, my God. I owned 2 hair salons, and I took the test, and I literally walked out the door and just threw the test at you and went to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
So then they're 14 months apart.
Melissa she did a little sidearm pregnancy test. Hits the wall. I look down. I mean, I didn't even check it. Why else would she throw a pregnancy test at me? It was obviously,
oh my gosh.
Like, you're not going to chuck me a negative one, right?
No.
You just throw it in the trash and not even tell me you took it.
Right.
Yeah. And who knows how many times you've done that. But, oh, yeah, that thing came flying at me. And
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So those 3 are super close.
I did have a designated driver, though, for quite some time. I got spoiled. I'm like, man, Uber ain't never getting $1 from me. I just keep getting my wife pregnant, man. I don't even sign up for Uber. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy, though? Those 3 middle ones, it was so chaotic then, and life was crazy. Then...
No, that looks like the glory days.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then it's like, oh, you guys weren't busy enough. Here you go.
Yeah. I miss, like today, going out to eat after like the games. I miss it.
Aw.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's certain things that we avoid or you just have to really prepare for.
Yeah.
And honestly, we just don't have the energy sometimes to take those, to prepare and take those extra steps.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's just about seeing myself walk in. We're having fun. You're dealing with Cal. He melts down. We've just put our order in. We've got 25, 30 minutes for our food's coming. Then it's another 45 minutes to eat it, and he's just freaking out, and people are looking at it, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
And I'm just trying to keep him busy the whole time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot. It's
when
it's not enjoyable.
Yeah, when he decides he's not going to cooperate, there really, truly is nothing you can do. I mean, I know a lot of the therapists would be like, you can't give up. I'm like, oh, I'll give up all day. I will just give up,
Yeah, no, sometimes it's just not worth it. I remember when Trey was 4, and I used to take him to VPK, and I would pick him up, and we'd go to lunch, just me and him.
Yeah.
I would never think to just do that with Cal.
I know.
And that makes me sad. That's why I said there's a lot of ups and downs with emotion on this,
Sure. Yeah, there's moments. Like, sometimes I just start thinking, like, even on the sideline today, and I was just an assistant coach, so I wasn't doing, like, everything, I had time to think.
Right.
Between the timeouts and stuff, and I was thinking I saw you guys over there in the wagon, and he looked like he was having fun. I mean, the weather was gorgeous, so he was getting his sun and his wind and seeing the kids and yelling, and he kind of gets into all that.
Yeah.
But then so I started just thinking about those parents that have never been able to go watch their kid play a sport, sit on a sideline. And I'm like, man, that's tough stuff for me.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that is sad.
But I don't know. Okay. 29 minutes in, I got to do a run to the beach, man.
He did pretty well, except he started eating stickers.
Ah.
So.
There's always got to be something.
Yep.
Always got to be something.
All right, you're running to the beach.
I think.
My shin splints feel better.
Oh, my God. All right, what's one positive thing you're going to accomplish today?
I'm going to do Zeus, and I'm going to do burpees.
Wow. Zeus is a workout online.
On YouTube.
He's got like
Zeus Fitness.
He's got like 200-300 videos, workout videos. They're pretty good. We found it during the whole lockdown, shutdown, whatever. So all the gyms closed, so we started doing this. It was awesome. He's got some tough stuff.
Yeah.
Anywhere from like 15 minutes to like 2 hours. Like you can just kind of pick what type of hell you want to go through for that day. That's what I love about it.
They're all hard.
Yeah. You can customize the quality of hell that you want to go through that day.
And if you think you're going to get an easy one, it's like, oh, I should have just done the hard one because this is even harder.
Yeah, it's sometimes the way they word it, you're like, oh, it doesn't sound bad. 5 minutes in, you're like praying for death, It's
yes.
Like,
so I'm going to work out.
That's a great positive goal.
Yeah.
I'm going to run to the beach.
Well, that's a good goal.
And that's my goal. And then I'm going to think about what I'm going to do next.
Have a cold beer later.
I promise.